Okay? And so this second part.
Figure out how to live together like we do.
Now I'm just saying, how do we? I'm wondering how we do. Live together like we do in a caste system? How do we? No so-called freedom of choice for anything? How do we? Masking people spiritually with the mouth, or closing down their channels and things like that, or monitoring, or even oppressing channels and things for saying stuff that people don't agree with a mask on your children. Even in some of these places where it's hot, I know some of these schools don't even have air conditioner, and are we checking to see what schools do and what schools don't before these kids have to sit, these children have to, because kids are just like goats, right? Okay, so while these children, right, wear muzzles for 8 hours straight in class, which they probably would rather be somewhere else anyway. How? Where we're given the perception, whether it's happening the way they say it or not, that people are being killed by the police, unarmed people, for no reason. I'm just saying, this is the perception that they're giving us. Fear, 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 fear. All the time. In fear, that's how. Until we learn to live in fear and not say a word and go to your room. Minimum wage $8 an hour. And all the people that we let in, again, through the borders, get those jobs. Nobody else wants to take them. And it's not because they don't want to take it because they lazy. It's because it's not enough damn money to pay anything. It's not enough money to live off of for most people. How should we learn? To be okay with, again, unnecessary sex ed in schools when it hasn't helped with anything so far. Um, so again, we should be pushing things down children's throats that they're not even ready for in the first place. Not prioritizing the things that we could do in certain low income or so-called poor neighborhoods that can turn them around within a year. And we're not going to act like, and then those who, again, have keys to situations to be quiet and sit down, and then we will just, again, monitor and source the information, and we'll use it as if it's our information, and we'll keep you at the bottom. Because I see things and I hear things, and there's people that sound a lot like what's been being said, especially on the platform. They're trying to get their head back in the game. It's all just ridiculous. It's all just ridiculous. And let's not even talk about how the fact that I believe that some of these individuals, we're not even going to say in what direction, have been sitting down with those very groups that are all turned against you know who. So it's not looking good for you know who, or you, or anybody. Because a lot of these people haven't even done the real work, the root work on themselves to even be in some of the positions with some of the power that they've been given and authority that they've been given by certain groups. Try and wrap your head around that. And some of it has been used to target other Americans, especially ones that look like them. So, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with race. Yeah, because most people, whether family, friends, so-called white or so-called black, will do anything for some funds, throw people under the bus for funds. So it doesn't matter. You have corrupt people and you have people that want to do right. 100% of the time when it comes to other people, when it comes to mass groups of people. Yes, people do whatever they do on their own personal lives. That's their business. But when it comes to what they want best for this so-called land, I always come correct. I always do my own research. I always get it out of the mud. I don't use other people's materials. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying, is it fair and balanced or is it not? Has this been a long, drawn out event that's been going on again? To pit one group against the other because of something else? I think I know what it is. I think I know it is on my platform why people might be, again, feeling the way that they're feeling and taking something personal and getting into their feelings about it when it was never supposed to be taken that way. I don't have anything against anybody's sexual preference or whatever you want to do with your body unless it's harming children. Because I'm against them teaching certain things in schools to our children, right? That they shouldn't have to even have those choices at this point in time, doesn't mean that I'm against those people that do what they do when they're adults. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. We don't need you shoving anything about anything to have to do with that kind of stuff down these children's throats in elementary school. It's not your job. Especially to be opening them up to a whole new way of looking at things. No. It leads to other things. It leads to other things.
You will never, never make it. America's strength ultimately lies in its people.
I know that. I know that. I know that it lies in its people. Because we're finding out who the original people were. That doesn't exclude anyone else from the land here now. We're all here now. But uncovering and unearthing and unchaining the minds of the people so that they can do better inside and out should not be a crime. Speaking on hidden agendas and things and using the terms and words that you use and seeing what they really mean to explain to the people what we're really talking about, is that against the law? Pointing out indiscrepancies and fear mongering should not be a crime. They were fighting for the soul of America. Well, what happened? Seems like somewhere we dropped the ball and we want to crush it.
Never make it. America's strength ultimately lies in its people.
Always
There's
has.
nothing special about being American. None of you can define for me what an American is.
I know what it is. It's me and everything that I stand for on my channel. It's others that do the same thing. Those who fight when they see something is wrong. Some people who put the benefit, the betterment of the people before their own self, fearlessly, on a day-to-day basis, 24 hours a day, You say pray, I say communing with God in seeing what is going on here and what do we need to do. Well, prophetically, the whole system was supposed to fall in order for us to evolve. And what has happened? That's what you call the wrath. What has happened?
Based on religion, ethnicity, race.
And really not, because religion didn't get here until the King James Version of the Bible got here, or before the missionaries that came here with that word. So that's really not America. We had to go back to see what America is, but we don't talk about that. We teach about everywhere else but America. Is that American? Do we take our on groups? What do they go after graduating, like middle school, to Washington, right? Or Disney, or they go to Jamaica? No, they don't take the children across the country and tell them the truth about what happened here and what they should be thankful for and who brought it here and whose backs it was built on and whose blood it was built on. Because those ancestors are the ones that scream into me from the earth, that's telling us these things to make things right, to bring order to the court. And you know it, and that's why you guys have done what you've done to try to keep people from speaking the way that we do.
Culture.
What is culture? I advise you to go look culture up in your etymology on etymology.com, or even in a dictionary, and read the long version the right way. Or you can watch my video once I put it back up. It's just ridiculous at this point. It's just ridiculous. There's so many things ridiculous about what's going on here. It's a joke, and that's why everybody is looking at us. We don't even hear about what's going on in other countries no more with the so-called pandemic. It's just America that needs to be in fear and worried and controlled. It's just America that thinks that you need to put that mask on even when the so-called antidote. Even if you get it, you can still pass it on. Because only Americans that are not thinking properly would think that that makes any sense. To put something, anything, over the mouth and the nose of your children and send them into a building, you don't even know if the air conditioner worked in the damn building, all day long with that mask on their face. Just like they haven't been through enough. The scarring that's been done just from just the visuals of the thing. They already treat each other horribly in schools. Now they don't even get to see each other's smiles anymore. The teachers smile. They don't get to see the bus driver smile when they get on the bus in the morning. It's ridiculous. Lord knows it's almost, 2 years? We will all be on the ground and dead, rotten, stinking, with no hospital be open right now if this was the way that they're saying that it is. It wouldn't be nobody left. We could take it there and end it. So what's really going on? Nobody wants to ask because nobody's thinking about the truth. They just want to go back to normal, which we're never going to do.
Yikes. So, Joe, you wanna give the president a lifeline and explain to him what it means to be an American?
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Part 2, right? Lifeline, sure, not a problem. I just tell my 5 and 7-year-old every day, okay, when I try to make them appreciate everything they have, is that, look, you live in the greatest country in the world. And that's what it means to be an American, that you have freedoms and you have a life here where you can be whatever you want. I know that sounds cliche, but I tell my kids that every day. And I think they're starting to believe it because
Well, it really should just be about the people. How wonderful the people have been. From the time that foreigners stepped their foot on this land. That is not to bring division, or it's just telling you how it is. From the time that people came here, people have been very hospitable. It is the people that make America what it is. The people on their feet. Those people that should be appreciated for what they went through or was perceived to go through on this land that invited you in. And now look at where their children are. And you wonder why this is happening here? Yes, it's happening all over the world, but we're not talking about that anymore. It seems like everybody else forgot about it. It's just here.
Just declared to me that she wants to be the first female president of the United States. Sorry, Kamala. And my son apparently wants to be.
And I don't know. I'm just saying, just in general, non-biased. Why wouldn't the Kamala be the first president? What's going to happen now if they get Biden out of there? She's not going to be able to be the president? I don't know. I thought that's how it worked. Maybe they know something I don't know. But you see, nobody else really wanted to answer the question. Nobody could answer the question right away. And this is not to talk down on nobody. It's just like, I just don't understand. Who are we taking orders from? No offense. It's scary to think if people are not thinking who is running this place. I can't even take it no more. I really can't.
Sure not. But again, when Joe Biden makes statements like that, it's no wonder.
Those are great aspirations.
Yeah, amazing, right? I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good attempt. But again, it is what I said it was. And the good people. All just people. People that want to do right. That's it. People that see something wrong with things being done wrong. Not even talking about the resources. We always worried about the resources. We always worried about the resources and the development and all this other stuff. We're not thinking about the people. That's what builds great nations. Not even giving hope, giving them something to do. You know very well what you can do in these communities, but it's not your priority. It's not a priority. And then you look and wonder what the problem is. It starts with the people. And if somebody has a problem with us talking about it starts with that man or that woman in the mirror, then they are the problem. I'm not talking about no charity case. I'm not talking about giving to the poor once or twice. I'm talking about really building better communities. that are run by the people from those communities, that have resources for the people in those communities. Fundamental facilities that people and children would be welcome to or want to go to without having to give their whole life story to people in order to get something. Feel like they're under surveillance from the FBI just to get a handout. Or having people think that they should stay on a handout and not giving them some other kind of resources to build them up on their feet so you can get them off the program and stop talking about how they're spending all the damn money. They can go off and do their own thing, but no, nobody wants that. You don't really want that, because you know what that means? That means you're really healing the people. I just don't understand. And I don't see who is talking about this. And it just really, it's just no disrespect. And maybe I'm just a little bit too passionate right now, but I don't understand. It's so easy. Nobody sits down with the people that have these types of ideas. You know what they do? They throw dirt on their name and mud and say, well, this person ain't all that because look what's going on in their household. It ain't about what's going on with me. It's about what I'm trying to do for the people or the ideas I have to advance a nation as a whole. Because I teach about the story doesn't mean that I'm against anybody that's on this land. You've never heard me say anything like that. But these other groups that are coming in, you better believe they don't want me here or you here. And me means anybody that think like me, that make them think about the messed up stuff that they do to their own people. And they don't want to take accountability for that. They still want to play victim. That goes for anybody. People that see me as competition, but I never looked at them that way. I respected them for the work that they did until I found out the dirt that was going on behind the scenes. Till I found out I was being cast out and my information was being fondled with and my platform was being oppressed. So you can be mad that you won't. You're going to be mad when you come to my channel because I'm going to tell you the truth. All people gonna be mad when you come to my platform because I'm gonna tell you the truth. And we're gonna set the record straight every time. If you need some more, you'll always leave here with something that you can take with you that make you think. I don't want you to think like me. I just want people to think. And I think that that is not too much to ask. There's so many other things that we can be talking about right now. We're rebuilding and all these things right on these platforms. And we still talking about stuff if it don't have nothing to do with us like that, right? Why are we? And then anyways, how many Americans just went over to Afghanistan and said, let me go move there. Let me move to Afghanistan, and that they're over there trapped, whatever we're talking about, dude. They've been out of there for years, supposedly. How many so-called Americans are still there? Every time they show us the people at the wall, the perceptions that they're showing us, I'm not there. I don't know if that's what's really going on. I don't know if that footage is from years ago, right? But as long as the perception is fearful, it pulls on your heartstrings. How many Americans are there in Afghanistan that said that they just wanted to go there and they ready to come back now because this is going on? Because they're not showing them to us on there. They're showing us those people. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be helped or anything, but maybe it's not a good idea during a so-called pandemic that's killing millions of people to be going to other countries and bringing people into the borders. Is all I'm saying. So something is not right here. Something is not adding up. Something is not making sense. So if it's not illegal to ask questions about what doesn't make sense, I don't know what we're doing wrong. No, because people have to answer questions and they don't want to answer those type of questions. That we got to sit here and talk about this all day. How many is over there? How many? And most of the people that were over there must have been in the military, right? So they must have left when the military left, right? So how many Americans, again, I keep asking, are over there that we're talking like this? I don't think people just pay attention to the details anymore. And I apologize. I'm not talking about those who do. And that's it. See, y'all got me. I'm all over the place today. I just can't help but just say, what is going on here?